Aquatic sports may not have home field advantage this spring season, but when they eventually return home this summer, they'll have a whole new look. I don't know what's more humbling than being back-to-back state champions, then cleaning out your own dugout, heading back on the bus and going back to the hotel to celebrate. They won game 1 by 8 runs, and they knew that there was only one job left to do. Imagine this, you're at home, you've just finished 18 holes at one of the most prestigious courses in the world, but you don't know if your name will remain on the board come Saturday morning. That was a reality for Evans' Luke List. Trevor Etienne this week went from questionable to negative yards to start his stat sheet against Texas to that game-winning TD.
2 years ago, this wasn't even a thought. Like I would have been irresponsible for me to even talk about it with her.
But it didn't matter to Olivia Stewart.
I mean, I wasn't going to lose anything if I didn't try.
So she did. Olympic trial cut time for a 100-meter breaststroke is a 1:10.29. Entering this year, Stewart clocked to 1:12.4.
I knew from the start it was like a far reach. I mean, 2 seconds, it might not sound like a lot, but it's like a good chunk of time, 2 seconds.
2 seconds, the time that separates swimmer from Olympic prospect.
2 seconds in swimming is 3 body lengths. Like, that's a lot.
She had 13 attempts in a month to get it down. 13 tries to turn an idea into a reality.
When you fail 12 times in a row, it should wear on you. Most kids, it would kind of wear on them and get them into a negative headspace.
Until swim number 13. They call it a lucky number for a reason.
When I hit the wall and I heard everyone just like screaming and cheering for me, it was like the most exciting moment of my life. It was incredible.
Her final time, a 1:10.13. Her ticket punched to Indianapolis.
Just to kind of take a look back at like 4 years ago when the last Olympic trials was going on, I was like barely starting swimming. I get to be around some of the fastest swimmers in the world.
And now she's one of them. Okay, we all know football is family, from the fans to the cheerleaders, players, and coaches. They're there when you need them most, like for Ella Cassidy's family. They got the news that changed their lives halfway through her freshman year at Harlem. Here's a story from your sideline. There's nowhere Ella Cassidy would rather be on a Friday night in Harlem.
I just like being under the Friday night lights.
It's her wish.
It makes me feel like I'm like raising their spirits and helping them believe in themselves that they can win the game.
Cheering on the red and black, never knowing they'd be cheering for her.
Not for the reasons that they have been. I woke up one night with the jaw pain was just even worse than usual. We found out, I think 2 days after that.
Leukemia.
You don't think it's gonna happen to you until it does.
You have good days and not so good days.
And I couldn't walk anymore. I couldn't like sit up by myself. I couldn't stand. I couldn't write.
But it's what she wanted to do that overcame what she thought she couldn't.
My mom was like, well, cheer trials are coming up. Like, do you want to do that? Is that something you're going to want to do this year? And I was like, yes, most definitely.
It quickly became her motivation.
When I would get home from chemo, I would take a nap, and then later on I would go outside and practice, work out to try and get my muscle strength up.
Side by side, her why became theirs. And over the course of 2.5 years, it was enough to score the ultimate touchdown.
I'm not going to have to take pills every night like I've been having to for the past 2.5 years. I'm not going to be feeling sick anymore. I'm going to start feeling better than I do every single day of my life.
Very tough news for Dogs fans. Great news, though, for Full Swing fans. Alex Fitzpatrick was out here. He hopped on the bag for his girlfriend, who's appearing in her 4th Augusta National Women's Amateur.
We haven't killed each other quite yet.
The stars have aligned at Champions Retreat.
It's been 3.5 years, and finally convinced him to hop on the bag for me.
Well, you try and grasp it every time you can spend together, and you know, this happened to fall at the right time for both of us, really.
You may be familiar with his last name. His brother Matt Fitzpatrick won the RBC Heritage last year. Alex currently plays on the European Tour.
It's funny, she actually plays, I would say, a lot like my brother.
But it's hers he's wearing this week.
It's been fun. He keeps me loose, and it's been nice to have someone like him as a sounding board, and I hope I can do the same for him.
I think sometimes, you know, you just got to make sure you're there, so if she wants to vent, she can.
Even if it's lending her more than just a club.
There were a couple times I'm like, Alex, will you pull me up the hill?
Yeah.
He's still learning her game.
I play a very different golf game than he does, so for him to adjust to how I play, I think has been really interesting.
She's still learning his.
Sometimes it's a little difficult because I see things differently with my game. So it's just kind of a balancing act, really, you know. Just trying to make sure that she's comfortable out there and she plays her own game without me getting too involved.
Well, Alex said that he felt the pressure of reading the putts, but
Yeah.
hey, he did well because she made the cut, and it'll be a family affair because Matt is in the field at Augusta National.
Exciting couple of weeks.
Hey, welcome into the News 12 studios. We have another edition of Under the Lights on deck. First up, game of the week. North Augusta beat Strom Thurmond last year. We gave Joe the rest of the night off, so you're stuck with a few minutes of me. Let's make like Willie and get jiggy with it. The undefeated Rebels came into this game off a full week of rest, and they didn't skip a beat. They have a loaded ground game, something North Augusta was aware of. Deontay Phillips working like a screwdriver and putting the nail in the defense. But Andrew Webb said you were going to see it as much on the ground as you were going to see it in the air. There's Jay Sewell down the line. Hope he's well, because that's the only TD they got. North Augusta keeps the momentum rolling and are the winners of 2 straight. It is Despicable Me 5. They haven't made that one yet, right? Maybe they'll model it off of this. It's been 15 years since Barnwell and South Aiken went at it, back when Twilight was cool and not like Bella and New Moon. Cameron Austin didn't have to wait 300 pages before something happened. South Aiken hasn't won a game since the opening week, but they would go on to limit the Warhorses in the third quarter. They were outscored 18-7 in the second half, and Barnwell, they hand them their first loss of the season. Okay, Fox Creek breaking in the new stadium with a wideout. Does Bick even make that anymore? Up against McCormick, you know that feeling when you fit everything into your suitcase after you shoved it in there. Nate Owens is making it past TSA. But maybe he's got a buddy pass. He's bringing Jalen Bledsoe with him. A single TD separated these two last season. McCormick has yet to find their way into the win column. Lakeside in South Effingham. Lakeside is good. One of the best in 5A. Don't believe me? At me. Twitter fight's still a thing. And as long as Lakeside still plays like this, I'll argue. Even with a different Jones, they were up 35-6 at the end of the third. Why not have a tight end take a snap too? Because he's saying, let's go for it. Jack Thexton with a peekaboo through, and it lift only over Jennifer Gray would be proud of. There you go. Nobody six baby in a corner. Panthers keep prowling through the jungle 49-6.